Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome. Welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness in the highest levels of love light. I'm going to go into a little flow in this video. I just recently did a video on a lot of things. I just kind of touched briefly on about 5 topics. And I'm not sure where we're going to go with this today. So let's just play and kind of see what the guides have to share. Some of this is meant to be felt, not necessarily understood on a linear basis. I always invite everybody to just feel the energy behind the words and to just drop into your heart. And so we drop right in to this flow, for there is really no separation between the energy that is provided, the sound that is behind the sound, the frequency or the medium in which we are all part of, in which we are all held within and encapsulated within. It can be as simple as going within and taking a breath to feel into the breadth, the width, the bread, the actual nutrients that are provided in this symbiotic exchange of frequency, energy, information, and feelings. And it does take time for many of us to adapt to this type of modality, if you will, or the ability to morph in and out of multidimensionality or recognition of access to these deeper parts of ourselves. And yet it is an intrinsic part of all of us to have access to these deeper parts of ourselves. We will not all necessarily express these parts or these bits in our own, in a different way. Each of us will express them in a unique and individual way. So not everyone will play in the same way. Some of you are already doing this in your everyday conversations. Have you ever had a moment that something comes through and you think, where did that come from? Or how did I interpret that? So in that way, in such a way that it felt so easy. And this is what we are encouraging everyone to play with at this time. For when we drop into the structure of the heart, it is easier for us to find a rhythm and find a pace and find the energy that we are looking for or looking to connect with to give us some of the answers and feelings that give us the expansiveness that is required in this particular time to handle some of the concurrent energies that are currently fluctuating with us. For we are in a deeper level of fluctuation, one might say. We have exited one portal and entered into another. And while we have access to both, we are sometimes feeling the difficulty in finding our footing. For we are not used to having access to both. For some of us, it seems difficult to dive into this deeper accessibility, and yet it is not any deeper than skin deep. We play with this for a moment. We do not necessarily mean the physicality that is skin deep. Many of us have associated the term skin deep with being superficial, for the skin is above the fascia and the fascia is above and layers and so on and so forth. Yet let us play with this word for a moment. For you are a vessel, and within your vessel or your skin is a depth of information that is also encapsulated within your cellular matrix, within your fascia, within your blood, within your chemistry, that creates a beautiful combination of entry into the portal of your body, which can be used to find entry into the multiple resources that are beyond the body. And simultaneously, you are more than skin deep. This is more than skin deep. This information and level of consciousness that many of us are accessing or asking for or seeking to connect with are beyond the skin. They are not held within the body, yet the body provides access to these portals in this particular reality. For we are part of this reality, are we not? We are intrinsically intertwined with the skin, with the air that we breathe, with the earth that we walk upon, and we are always interacting with all of these frequencies and energies that are part of the physical reality that we all exist within. And yet many of us are seeking to find this multidimensionality outside of our skin. And we reach this at certain times when we are asleep, when we are in deep meditation, when we are in an advanced state of brain cognition. And this is a play on words. When our hemispheres of our brain connect and we are able to connect through our skin suit, we are able to interpret the information that is coming from beyond the skin suit. Yet we are being invited to interpret it in this physical form so that we can bring it into this physical form so that we can express it in this physical reality. For we are creating our physical realities as physical beings that have access to multidimensionality. So we invite you not to run away from your physicality, yet not become so attached to it that we miss the bigger picture, that we miss the fact that we are more than just this vessel. And so the more frequently we can tune into all of this frequency and combine it together to utilize it as a beautiful modality or tool of interdimensionality or connecting in multiple realities or connecting into the depth and deeper layers of the human. I'm hearing personality, but it's beyond personality. It's like this, it's a lot. It's like so much more. We then begin to see past the personality. We begin to see past the personification of the one track, if you will, the one road that we think we have been on up until this point. For now, many of us are beginning to recognize many different points, not only to the past, but to the future, and in this now moment that we have access to, connecting the portals of the past and the future. And so the easiest way to tune into this is through the heart portal, the portal of the heart, the tunnel. And I'm being guided to remind everybody about the video I recently did, which was quantum tunneling. It's an access, it's all quantum. And this is a play on words. If you will play with this word for a moment, we have been teachable. We have been malleable in the sense we have been molded into, or we have molded ourselves into a particular line or structure or track that has kept us living in this reality in such a way, and if from one perspective has kept us from recognizing our multidimensionality, our I'm seeing our access to deeper parts of ourselves, higher selves, angels, guides, ascended masters, spirit realm, elemental realm, galactic realm, cosmic realm, deeper inner earth realms. All of these are realms, and they are all held within different dimensions. And so we have access to this. And many of us have been kept within this pattern, and we have dropped into this particular modality or mold ability or ability to create a mode of efficiency in order to live our lives and I'm hearing walk this way. And I'm seeing like an arrow, Aerosmith. And so we are learning how to walk now, yet again, in a different way of interaction with our inner self and the physical environment that we have been birthed into in this reality. And let us play with this just for a moment. I'm just going to pause for just a second. We will come back to the word. So I'm a little all over the place. Many of us have looked at this from one angle, and now we are starting to feel into and fit into all of these angles, and different perspectives and ahas are presenting themselves in a very strange prismatic way. And it is difficult for everyone to see things, for at certain times, one person may see one color of the rainbow, while someone else is seeing and expressing another color of the rainbow. And because they are each holding different views and perspectives as their own prism, there are certain distortions or patterns that are reflected back to them based on their prism of understanding. And we could play with this word for a moment. And I'm being guided that I'll probably come back and look at these word patterns in a deeper format at some point. For we are in a period of reconstruction, one might say, and we are reconstructing our reality and giving ourselves the opportunities to play in this physicality, in this physical reality, while fine-tuning and tuning into other realities. Yet they are all here now. Everything here now all at once. And so this can feel difficult in order to walk in both ways. And yet we are doing just that, whether we realize it or not. Many of us are feeling as if we are coming up to bat in a game that used to be perfect for us, that we used to fit perfectly in, or some of us never felt like we belonged in that particular game. And here we are very easily merging with this other game that is an overlay of the old patterns. So we are stepping up to bat, and we are being shown that we are not necessarily, I'm being shown a picture. We're used to a certain way of swinging the bat. We're used to holding a certain bat. We're used to the bases being set up a certain way and being shown baseball. And then I'm being shown, but now we're being thrown a curveball. And we're not used to a curveball. We're used to the same pitcher, the same game. And we thought we had it down. And now we're like, wait a minute, this isn't the same game. But so the rules have changed, and so have the way in which we play the game, and so have the players, because every person on the team is also in that same position. So the pitcher, I'm being guided to play with this for a moment. So you're the bat, you're coming up to bat, and it feels wonky. Well, the pitcher isn't used to throwing a curveball. They throw the ball and they're like, what's that? I've never thrown that ball before. So we're all getting used to this in our own way, is basically what I'm being shown in this new reality. And for some people, they will not be able to interpret this. They will not be able to interpret their surroundings. They will not be able to interpret what I'm saying, because they are so ingrained in the old. I'm seeing an old picture in my head of the base of a baseball game in black and white, with like one of those old announcers, and now he rounds first base, then he goes into second base, and whoa, now he's staying there, and that's what they're used to. And so they're looking at this like, no, this game still needs to be played in the classical traditional sense. But other people are looking around going, yeah, but that's not going to work. So it is this very strange, but we're all on the same field. But I'm being shown that we're both playing the same game at the same time. Ooh. So this can get confusing. It can feel messy. So we are being called again and again to go back within into the heart. And so we find, as we communicate with our bodies, as we communicate with each other with a heartfelt feeling of recognition, and I'm seeing, I see you. I see that you're playing the game differently than me. But being aware of that is the first step in acknowledging, I'm just seeing the prism that person is seeing things through. And so we play with this also for if you are standing in a different angle and you are looking at the light flowing through a triangle, you will see different colors. You will see the rainbow potentially, but some colors will stand out stronger to you than others. And there are those that are color blind. They do not see colors, and some do not see colors in the same light that we see them in. And we bring this up to remind everyone again and again that we are each a unique individual expression of this rhythm, of this sound, of this cymatic, of this light and color variation. So we find ourselves once again looking within to find our own rhythm. The only way we will be able to play this new game is to find our own rhythm. So there will be those who seek to pull us off course, to seek to get us in their corner, to play the game how they are used to playing it, because they don't know any better. They don't know that everything has changed yet. This is not to say that they will not ever know, but it is not our, I'm hearing prism. So it's their own prison that they're in. It is not it's not us, it's not ours. So we're being called to acknowledge that and realize it, but still play the game in our own way. And somehow this is going to create almost like I'm hearing it's just going to get certain people aren't going to be able to relax. That's something I'm being shown. But it'll create a more relaxed, like almost like that person's going to be like, all right, play it your way, I guess. And there's going to be resistance. But ultimately, once you get into that rhythm, it's not going to matter from what I'm seeing. So we will end on this note and just make this message somewhat short but sweet. There is no defeat right now, for we are on a new track. I'm being shown many tracks. So we're going to have moments where we feel like we missed the ball, but it's going to come around again. And the next time it comes around, we're going to recognize it may not be coming the way we thought it was going to, but we're going to be a little bit more in fluidity with it. I don't know why. So let us just say in this particular message that the heart has a geometry that is inside of it, that when expressed from a place of compassion, gratitude, and appreciation for the experience, for what is our physical reality, for one another, we begin to inherently bring up what is inside of us, what is part of our unique individual inherency. So inheritance, like what is that? Our DNA, our gifts, our things that are, this goes back to the beginning of the message, things that are inside of us that we really haven't necessarily recognized. We're going to all of a sudden go, oh, I know the answer to that. How did I know that? It's starting to, I'm hearing unwind. So it's winding up while simultaneously unwinding. So that is all a play on words. Winding up meaning time is getting faster. We're getting ready for more. We're continually being in this wind up, like get ready for the pitch, right? But simultaneously, if we unwind and we relax into it a bit, this is also a plan. It helps us to stay stable in the energies and find our footing a little bit easier and not be so hard on ourselves. But I'm also seeing this as a reference to the DNA, the coils in the brain. So that was other messages that I've shared in the past. So that was my message from the guides today. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to close out on. I'm hearing recognizing that we are complete. I'm hearing the message is complete. We are complete within ourselves. So if we feel that we aren't good at this game, I'm hearing it takes practice and let go of the need for perfection, because this type of game doesn't have room for that. That's a play on words. Like, you can't play that tightly wound. There's not enough room for that. There isn't, it's happening so quickly that it's almost like there's a delay. So meaning if you're trying to be perfect about how you play this game in life, whatever it is, work, family, relationships, if you're just trying to be like, okay, I got to figure this out and I've got to map this out and I got to linearize everything, you're already going to be behind because things are winding up so quickly. But if you let that go and you unwind and you just kind of allow and start to be the observer, you'll recognize and bring up that perfection that's already within. It's like, oh, I didn't even know I knew the answer to that, but here it is. And things will start to show up in a different way. But we won't see them if we're trying to play it the old way. And we won't see those things showing up for us if we're not relaxed enough and in flow enough to see them, observe them, feel them. A lot of people are so busy trying to figure things out and make sense of something that doesn't really have a sense because it's chaos, that it's slowing them down. And it's keeping them kind of on that old track. And again, I think I've talked about this before. Some people are doing that on purpose, unconsciously, because it feels more comfortable for them. It's uncomfortable for people to let go of the old stuff. It's uncomfortable for people to let go of all kinds of things. So again, unwind is what I'm hearing here. So, in love and light, guys. Namaste.